Two former Kruger National Park rangers, Mkanzi and Nzima Sihlangu, were each sentenced to 20 years imprisonment for their involvement in poaching-related offences. They were found guilty of conspiracy to commit an offence and killing 2 rhinos by the Skukuza Regional Court. The crimes took place between December the 25th and December the 30th in 2018, while the accused were on day shift at the Crocodile Bridge section of the Kruger National Park. In addition to the jail terms, the court ordered the forfeiture of cash found in their possession to the state. Well, to chat more about this is Narend Sing, the Deputy Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and Environmental Affairs. Deputy Minister, thank you very much indeed for making time to speak to us this morning. Certainly a sentence to welcome, especially in light of the scourge of poaching that has been taking place for years.
Good morning, Griselda, to you and your viewers. Yes, certainly a sentence to welcome, but may I take this moment also to offer our condolences to the families that lost loved ones in the heinous crime in the Eastern Cape. Yes, we welcome the sentence because the kind of collaboration and cooperation between different agencies, between Sandparks Enforcement, the Green Scorpions, the prosecuting authority, and even the tax authorities seems to be bearing fruit. And with the creation of a specialized court at Skukuza dealing with wildlife crime, I think this bodes well for us getting on top of rhino poaching and rhino poachers.
Deputy Minister, I mean, this can obviously be referred to as an inside job. These were individuals who were working there. How rife is this in various parks around South Africa, where you have people who you obviously would not be able to perpetrate these crimes without knowing exactly how to do it in these various parks?
No, it is quite rife, and it is something that Sandparks and the other parks are trying to address. People get, bought in by these kingpins who want these rhinos, and I think these become the workers, and people living around these parks become the pawns for just very little money. So we have got programs in place now, which have been in place for some time, where all our rangers are spoken to, and we even go to the extent of offering rangers loans if they require loans, and having financial difficulty, to discourage them from being, lured by these kingpins and others who want these horns. So there are a number of programs, but it's not something that I think we can eliminate completely, but we are quite vigilant and aware of it.
With all these programs, Deputy Minister, I mean, could we confidently say we're winning the fight against poaching?
I think we are, because if you look at the numbers are decreasing, but we also find that these poachers and these mafia, I would like to call them, move from area to area. When we tighten up security in one park, then you see them moving elsewhere. But I think with the kind of collaboration that we are having now with the number of enforcement agencies and the kind of stiff sentences that are being imposed, in this particular case, it will act as a deterrent. But we've got to be ever so vigilant, and we want to get on top of this. In fact, in one of the parks in KwaZulu-Natal, in Cloto and Bolozi, dehorning has started. It's not ideal as far as I'm concerned, because these rhinos have horns for a purpose. But dehorning has discouraged the number of poaching that's taking place. So I think we are winning with not only national but international cooperation.
Yeah, but others could also argue, Deputy Minister, that the sentencing of Mkanzi as well as Nzima Sihlangu, these are but only the small fish that are being fried. There are kingpins, there are mafias that are operating, that sit elsewhere and lure individuals such as these to participate in this kind of criminal activity. Yet the big guns or the big fish continue with this kind of criminal activity.
You are absolutely 100% right, Griselda. It's something I also spoke about and the department is aware of. We want to catch the big fish. And, fortunately, our law enforcement agencies not only operate here in South Africa, but we're operating outside of South Africa with informers to find out exactly where the market is for these rhino horns, because we know some of the countries where these markets are. We are in discussions with them, but we also want to increase enforcement in their own countries so that we can get the kingpins. As you rightly say, they're probably sitting on the 20th or 50th floor of some building, just like with car hijacking and manipulating people on the ground.
Yeah, and this, you've spoken just very briefly about it, Deputy Minister, but collaboration between countries as well, because you find that, these prized possessions of our country, are being shipped elsewhere. So collaboration between countries is going to be very important to also deal with this particular scourge.
Absolutely, and it is for that reason that we took a strategy to Cabinet, and the Cabinet, the whole of Cabinet has approved this particular strategy, which would include us even moving outside of our borders, because that's where these rhino horns and other wildlife, pangolins and else are going to. And if we can get to that source and teach them a lesson, then I think we would really say that we are on top of this rhino poaching.
Thank you very much indeed for making time for us. Deputy Minister Narend Sing, the Deputy Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and Environmental Affairs, talking to us about the sentencing of two former Kruger National Park rangers. They were sentenced to 20 years imprisonment for their involvement in poaching-related offences. Thank you very much indeed, Deputy Minister.